Hello, this is David Birch again from StarPath School of Navigation with a follow-up, a short follow-up on a note we had before on base maps, because the base maps generally are generally not an issue. We'd like to have something. This is a Hawaii. See if I zoom out by rolling the mouse. See, there's a U.S. and then here's Hawaii. Now that's the one that comes with it, and we showed ways you change that. But I want to just do another level of this. Expand a bit on the base maps. Generally, they're not important. In fact, as soon as I load a chart on here, the base map's going to be totally covered, so it won't matter. But the base maps become more important. It just looks nicer to ratchet this one up above the basic one that comes with it, so-called crude. But we are better off when we do the routing. If you're going to use this very nice routing plugin for the OpenCPN, then the only way the program knows where the land is, so you don't hit the land, is by the base map. The base map tells it where the land is. So you're going to get a better avoidance of the land when you have a better base map. Now that doesn't mean you're going to avoid the shoalings, which are right beside the land. Right, so you got to always we're going to come back and do some videos on the routing plugin, which works pretty well. And then, but we have to keep in mind that it's going to show us a pretty nice picture of where the base land is, but it's never going to show you where the shoaling is, or at least that takes a lot more sophisticated programming. Could be done with the vector modes, but another issue. So here, let's go back to the base map. This is what you get when you just download the program from scratch. Now we go to the wrench, then we go to the chart downloader, and then so this is just looking ahead at what I've done. Let me back up a little bit. Let's go to chart files. So right now you see I'm not looking at any installed charts. I may have, in fact I do have tons of charts installed on this computer, but I haven't told OpenCPN where any of them are, so it doesn't know about any charts. All it knows about is cancel. All it knows is about the base map that came with it. So we go here, it's not looking at any files. Then if I go to chart downloader, now this is another list of charts, but it's actually this list of charts here is just telling the program which ones do you want the program, this chart loader functionality to back up, not to back up, but to update. So it's pretty smart. You can tell it to update the charts, and that's in some settings elsewhere. Maybe hit this help button. But right now I'm just looking at the base map. So it's got, so somewhere it's watching some Hawaii charts. I don't care about that. I'm not even looking at them now. And these two things I've just added to make my point here, and I'm going to do another one to show what's involved, how I did that. And so let's do this. I've already downloaded high and full, so just for the heck of it, I'll download low. Okay, I'll say low, and then update. I did update, and say low. Wait a minute, something's wrong. Okay, wait a minute, let me back up a minute. That's not quite right. I've got to do add here, even though I've got some already done. What I want to do now is I first have to come here. I hit add. Okay, so I'm going to add a base map. Okay, add a base map. Now as soon as I say I'm going to add a base map, it tells me where they're going to go down here. This is their default location, but I'm kind of doing a trick here so you can practice on which ones you need. So instead of putting that in this one, I'm going to put a dash low. So that's where I'm going to download only the low one now, and I'm going to put it in this folder right here. So you say OK, and you see that's the low one. And then you do have to say, please update. I have to update. So it's updated. Now I go and download the low one. So there's low. And say, download that. And that's done. Okay, I don't know if I need to apply. I say OK. Now, what that's showing here is the low resolution, the low resolution. So that's better than the crude, but it's still pretty crude. But, and if I go here now, wrench and charts, look, see, the only thing it's looking at is low. That's the low resolution. If I delete, and these are, again, I'm just telling the program in this window, chart files, I'm just telling it where to look for charts to show me. This is where you organize your charts. You want to really kind of structure this folder here to represent the type of chart you're looking at. The ones you want to look at the time. So that's low. I don't care so much about that one. So let me remove that. And here's a point I want to illustrate. I'm adding a chart. Now here's what I did. This is when I just showed you how you make this. These are two I did earlier. So let's do the full. Let's do the full. And remember, you're selecting not the chart, but the folder. So that's done. Now that's full. That's the full one. Apply. Okay. So now that's the full resolution there of the. See, now the bitmaps are a lot better. So that's full. So there you see what full looks like. So of wherever this bay is in Hawaii. So that's that. Now, okay, so that's for comparison. So this is just to show you for comparison so you can decide which ones you need. So let's get rid of the full. Well, let me just add a directory. And I'm going to add high. Add high. High. Now, I don't want this guy. I want to delete him. Actually, I think the way this works is if you have several, if you put in the crude and then you put in the high or something, what'll happen is when you're way zoomed out, you'll see the crude and then it'll just keep getting better and better. But if you're not, if your computer is not limited by memory and speed and so forth, you could use the full or high. Okay, full, I'm removing that. Okay, so we're going to look at the high. Okay, apply the high. Okay, so now this is high. Now you can see, okay, so to make this a point here, let me go back. I screen captured these and made a note here. So let me show you that screen captures. Let me just open these two and, oh yeah, I just say open. Okay, so there is full, and you see a full, and there's high. You see? So there's a high resolution, looks like that, and the full resolution looks like that. So it's definitely better, but it depends now what your computer almost has, if you're going to do routing, you have to have a pretty good computer. So but on the routing operations, you'll want to use the full, and we'll illustrate that later. But there's the high, there's the full. Okay, that's done. That's done, or actually documents. Let me just show something else here. Documents, charts. Okay, where are we? Full. And here are we high. Now look at what's going on here. When you're doing the high, that's the full, rather, full. That's poly-F is full, poly-H is high. This one we just put up here. Oh no, that's poly-high. Somebody did low. Okay, low. The poly-L, that's an L. So that's the way they're named. But look at the size here. This one that is the high resolution means you've loaded this 33.4 megabytes and you're moving that around all the time. But the other one, you're loading 171 megabytes, and you're moving that all around. So you got to judge by your machine, the power of your computer, which one you work with, and then for the routing, you probably want to use this high one. So that's the difference there. And I think that's all I wanted to show at this moment. How you can go in here, and then, and this is just deciding what you show. See, if I delete that, it doesn't mean anything. I can remove it. It's just not going to show it. So I'm going to probably revert right back to the basic crude that comes with the machine. And then if I want other ones, I come in here, chart files, add a directory, and then I choose, in this way I choose what kind of resolution I want. that way. Anyway, so that's just some more notes on the base maps, which can be handy when you go to the routing.